Hello, my name's Alicia, your coach and mentor for the Gratitude is the Best Attitude program. I'm here with Vandana, who is a mindset coach, and I'm truly grateful and honoured to have her here today to share her perception on what gratitude is in her world. And I wanted to take the time, Vandana, to say thank you very much for coming in, taking time out of your day to be here and share your story and experience on gratitude. So welcome.
Thank you, Alicia, and it's a pleasure to be here. Thank you for this opportunity.
Thank you. Thank you. So we're just going to have a little bit of a conversation. It's going to be very fluid and very conversational. And I wanted to ask, I know when I reached out in my community, you were one of the first ones to put up your hands. And when you gave me your perception on what gratitude was, I was just so drawn and so connected with your story and what you wanted to share. And I thought, what a great opportunity to bring you into my little circle to share what it is that you have. So for all the people out there, what is gratitude and what does it mean to you?
So gratitude for me, it's a lifestyle. You know, it's not something that comes and goes. It becomes a part of you, and everything that you do flows from there once you have it. And it's I like to share with you how my relationship with gratitude started, and that was unknowingly so because I was still a kid. But now that I look back, I can connect the dots. But that's where it possibly started. And as still a little kid, I maybe 6 or 7 years old, and I come from a Hindu background, and my parents are not Orthodox, but they're religious and they do pray. And I used to observe them and just wonder what is it that they talk about. And I didn't really know, and never did they force us to like go and follow a particular way of praying or anything. And I just used to observe them. And what so happened is that people around me, they were going through, like kids around me and other beings around me, they were going through a little more of intense life situations than I was. So I got a chance to be around them and just to be in the presence of what they were going through, and thankfully they allowed me to be. And I started observing life through what they were going through. It was what they were going through taught me such valuable lessons. And I figured that I started thanking whatever the superpower is for my life. And I was grateful that I have what I have. And I was grateful to all of these people who were letting me be and seeing the hardships that they were going through. So, and that's where my prayer started being thank you. I mean, that's been my prayer throughout, and I still follow it. Things kept getting added and removed and whatnot, but thank you is always there. And that's how the relationship with gratitude started. And I believe what it taught me was to look at a gift, look at everything as a gift. Whatever situation came in, my first question would be, what is the gift in this? What is it that I can be thankful for? And that's how everything just started flowing in. And I realize now that the more you're grateful, the more opportunities you get to be grateful for. And it just is. And it looks like magic, but it works. And it has worked. And I figured that's why I kept it too. I never had a reason to change it. So I am grateful for the way it all worked out. And that's why gratitude is my number one value as well. It's just beautiful. It makes things easy.
It does. And I just love the way that you said it's a gift to appreciate all the things around you in the present moment. I think there's nothing more special than being grateful for the gifts that you already have and what is the gifts that in that present moment. I think a lot of people can learn from that, and that is just truly, truly special when you hear that, and the appreciation that you have for all the things that are happening around you and the people that you're connected to too. What a wonderful gift to see that happening around you and for you, and how it's given you opportunities for your life to then move forward. And I think that is a really big learning development for people who are tuning in today. So my next question would be, so why is gratitude so important?
As I said, I just don't remember a time when I did not feel grateful. So if I ever consider, and I know we go through such different posts and such different shares these days, and different perspectives that people have. And I was thinking, if I remove gratitude from my life, just remove it and try to create that void, that what would it be and how would I be if it's not there? And I just feel so lost. I feel lost because that's something that just drives me. It is the driving point. It's like, no matter what I do, no matter whatever initiative I'm taking up, the first place is gratitude. Like, how did I get this skill? Like, to begin with, how did I even get this skill? Who all helped me get here? That's the place I start from. Then, okay, whom am I going to offer this to, and why would they need this, and how would this help them? Again, makes me feel that gratitude, I've always believed, is contagious. It's just spreads. What you express it to someone, then it makes them express it to someone else, and then it flows and flows and flows. So yeah, I don't know how to say it, but it'll create a void if it's not there in my life. It's an attitude or a mindset.
Exactly right. And something that was quite significant in what you just said is it creates the ripple effect. So that one positive step then creates that wave, those waves and those ripples to then filter through other people. And one thing that I have noticed is when you say thank you to someone, because I've been a leader most of my life, and when you take the time to say thank you to an employee or someone that's working, just to see if they've had a really bad day, to see them then smile because you've appreciated the work that they've done, the power and the emotions and the power that comes to that, it gives other people power, which then passes that. It's like you said in the first bit, it's a superpower. It gives people their superpower to continue the work that they're doing because it's important. The power of, yes. So there's some really strong messages there, and I want to say thank you for sharing that. So for the people out there, how can people start bringing it into their lives?
That's a wonderful question, Alicia. And and as you've already covered that in a bit, where you said that being mindful, just being mindful, and being present to where you are, to the environment, to the people, to wherever you are. Like say, for example, if you're just even going for a walk alone, and being really present in that moment while you're walking and observing things around you, and coming from a place of gratitude would be, what can I be thankful for while I'm doing, which could be thankful to the what do you say, the governing body of your area, for the roads that they've created, for the trees that they've planted, being thankful to nature to have given us this fresh air to breathe, and there's just so much to be it's something that would spurt from there. And then it, without you knowing, because I think naturally as being human beings, we are more accepting of this, like gratitude, love, compassion, and all these feelings just brewing. You just have to give that initial spurt, and they just flow, like outburst and explode in your body, and that comes in everywhere. Then you start, like, I was talking to my husband the other day, and he was mentioning, we're just discussing gratitude, and he said one thing he had consciously started doing a few years back was that after a very stressful day at work or a difficult day at work, you always have those thoughts going on in your mind. But before when he was driving from workplace to home, or before he would just enter home, he would say, what are the top 3 things that I'm grateful for? And he said, my family, my husband, my wife, my daughter, or my son, and the house that I have, for example. And enter from that place. And he said, suddenly the stress is all gone. I know what I care about. I know what I'm thankful for, and everything, just the whole experience changes. So imagine when you enter from a place of stress versus when you enter from a place of gratitude, it just changes the way you show up.
What an amazing story. And I think that is such a strong message there, especially coming home from work, especially if you've had a stressful day. That is a really awesome trick and tip, because divorce rates are high, and we need to be real about that. And that's a really cool little thing to do before coming into the home, is to do that gratitude, to say, okay, well, what worked out today, and what am I grateful for the things that I've learned today? And then I bet that, just because I'm a firm believer, you can't be negative and positive at the same time. Our neuro pathways cannot do it. It's just impossible. So for him to have that knowledge and that experience to do that before he enters in the home, because sometimes a lot of people out there, they'll come home and they'll go into a rage because they will take their anger out on someone else. So to do that practice is so powerful, because it would bring a whole lot of love in their house, which is beautiful. Thank you.
It is beautiful, and thank you so much. And it was wonderful, because he said initially, he thought it from the perspective that how can I not feel stressful, right? And how can I not feel stressful wasn't really helping it, because it was still thinking of stress. And while if you just change the whole question to be how can I be grateful, it just worked. It didn't bring in the stress at all.
Yeah.
So ultimately it all depends on what are you focusing on, and it just changes the way you show up, which I think is very powerful, because that then opens up to such beautiful possibilities. You don't know what it's going to bring for you. Versus we know that when we carry on and have feel stressed, and how we react, how the body reacts to it, doesn't really have very good outcome.
So beautiful. And well, I was going to ask, how do you do gratitude, but we've pretty much covered that. So I think that was such a great way of explaining how you do it, especially like coming from those, I think transitioning from one routine task to another is really important too, is a message that I can see. Like if you're going from, home to work, what are you grateful for? Work to home, and just doing it in those in-between transition periods is another way that people could do it as well. So for you, how does it make a difference for you having gratitude in your world?
Just makes it beautiful. I feel abundant, and I think that's it. That sums it up. It feels that there's nothing less. It's something that will keep getting created. The more I share it and express it, there's never going to be a lack of it. I feel that there's just always going to be something that I have and that I will offer. I feel abundant.
That's beautiful. I think that's the most highest intention that anyone could try to get to, and to see that is phenomenal, that you're able to get abundance, because sometimes when people hear abundance, they get caught up with thinking that it needs to be wealth, but in actual fact, it's more of that love and that fulfilling heart space that people want to feel within themselves, is to feel that happiness. We're all on this happiness journey in some way, and this is a tool and resource to bring that in, which is truly magical. So what do you love so much about it? What do you love about gratitude?
Everything about it. Just everything. I mean, it's just that the same thing. It's just never ending. It has ripple effects. It's contagious. It grows, it cultivates itself, it's just self-breeding. And it's a connection, like connections stand very high as one of my core values as well. And I feel what you touched base a little bit earlier, that when you come from a place of gratitude, the kind of connections you establish, the quality of them is completely different. It's more I would say that it's forever. It lasts forever. You're never going to be forgetting that. You might forget what was the reason that you met for. You might forget what is the activity that you did, what you achieved. Maybe but you'll never forget the feeling that you felt grateful, or that somebody else felt grateful for what you offered them. That's something that always stays. So yeah, that's how I look at gratitude, and that's why it's so important, because connections matter to me. And I've always followed that quote, once you enter my life, you're going to be there forever. That moment was shared with you, it's never going to go away. So,
oh, Vandana, do you know what? That is exactly what I say. I say once you've connected, once you're connected with me, you're in it for life. And connection is one of my, at the moment, because we do have coronavirus, this isolation is really making it hard for me, because I love connection as well. But when you enter my life, you're in it forever. And something that is so powerful is that gratitude, you do remember that. And the thing is, it is about making beautiful memories, because we remember experiences and the emotions that someone gives us. And that is the message. We want to embed positive memories, because it's so easy to remember a negative memory. But if we can instill all these beautiful memories, it will wipe out the negative ones.
And it is true, as you said, wipe out, because once you start having these positive attachments to it, or associations would be the right word. And I think back and I try to think what were the negative, if there's any negative memories, you don't really remember them, because this just overarches everything else. It's like, all right, and why do I complain? I was once really thinking in one of the coaching sessions that why can't I go back to the negative things that have happened to me? And the question was, is it a problem that you can't, like, that you're not remembering them? Is it a problem for you? I said, no, not really. There's nothing to be worrying about it. And it's good to not remember the negative things. I mean, not that I denied those experiences, they happened, but I'm still grateful for them. And the story was changed because I'm still grateful for all that had happened and how it helped me grow. So the associations just automatically, and I think, again, that's the way the life works. It's about being grateful, and it just takes over. It just takes over, like spreads like weed or whatever.
Yes, that's it. Wildflowers. So it goes over the weeds, because weeds are negative. We'll say wildflowers that are beautiful. Okay, so I'm going to ask one more thing before we wrap up. I want to ask you, what would you say to someone who is just starting on their gratitude journey, because I do sell the journal as well. People that are tuning into this, what is one thing that you would like to say to a person who is starting off on their gratitude journey?
One is to be grateful to be watching this beautiful video or the program that Alicia has brought in, and to be grateful that life brought this in front of you. It's for a reason. I always believe that there is always a reason, and the reason is always a good one. So it's for a reason that has come forward to you. So be grateful to that. And then a little practice that you can start at any point is just being in the moment and be thankful for that moment, and express it, like say it, either say it out loud or just sit for a moment and feel it, or maybe write it down. Those are the ways which you can start doing it. And then you won't even realize when it has just taken over everything and you start feeling that for everything. But yes, if you want to really start at some point, just taking it and expressing it in either way, whatever way is comfortable for you, just start expressing it. That would make a difference.
I really, really love that. And I just want to say thank you so much for sharing your experience and your perception in gratitude. Your story is so beautiful, and I can see how it has cultivated into your life, where it's seamlessly and effortless in your world. And you just glow. There's like a white glow around you just to see that positivity around you. And I can see that, and the gentleness that it's brought to you. You can see when you experience and have gratitude in your life that you know, your tone of voice and the way that you present yourself, you can see that softness. And I think that's what it brings into our world, is that softness in such a hard, negative world. That's, if we bring this in, it just changes that whole perspective. And what a beautiful gift to have for the rest of your life.
Definitely. Yes, I cannot be more thankful. Again, that's something to be thankful for. It just doesn't stop. There's always a reason to be thankful for. Yeah.
We could continue saying thank you all afternoon.
Alicia, thank you so much. Really, thank you for letting me, even the questions you asked. I mean, one never really thinks it from those angles, but thank you so much. Yes. Because now it makes me reflect that there's so much more I have to be thankful for. And it's been a beautiful journey. So thank you. Thank you for letting me share it.
Thank you so much. And I hope everybody here has gained something from your story and can use this within their world. I know it's going to be a special gift. And this is the ripple effect that we want to embed into other people's lives and make those waves continue on. Yeah, that's right. Thank you again, and have a beautiful day. Thank you so much.
You too.